that there's no illegal stickers. I also have my wiper blades. I make sure the wiper blades are not cracked or broken. I make sure they are working properly. They have enough rubber to clean the windshield. And the fluid is working properly. Somewhere around there. There you go. And that's working properly. Next thing I have, alright, so now I will step off from the driver's seat. I have my passenger mirror. I make sure it's not cracked or broken. It's properly mounted to the bus. There's no missing nuts or bolts. Then I have my front entrance door. Excuse me. I make sure it opens and closes. It's not cracked or broken. The glass is not cracked or broken. It is properly mounted to the bus. The handles on the door are not cracked or broken. They are properly mounted. There's no oil or grease that could cause a slip. And the hinges are not cracked or broken. They're well lubricated. That could open the door properly. Now moving on to the entrance on the floor, I make sure there's no oil or grease that could cause a slip for the passengers to come in. Make sure it's always clean. I have my standing line. I make sure it's yellow in color. It's visible at all times. And I'm making sure all the passengers are standing behind the standing line. Next thing I have is the fire extinguisher. I make sure it's not cracked or broken. It is properly mounted to the bus. It's up to date and it's fully charged. Moving on to the back of the bus, I'm making sure the handles are not, the passenger handles are not cracked or broken. There's no oil or grease that could cause a slip, and it's not ripped or torn, and they're properly mounted to the bus. Next thing I have are my 5 emergency exits. I make sure they are not cracked or broken. They are properly mounted to the bus, and they open and close properly and lock properly. I have 5. This will be 1, 2, 3 up there in the seating, 4, and 5 with the main entrance. Next thing I have is my passenger seats. I'm making sure they are not cracked or broken. They are properly mounted to the bus. I'm making sure the seatbelt are not ripped or torn. They buckle and unbuckle properly. I'm making sure the cushions are not ripped or torn, and they are mounted properly to the seat. Next thing I have is my lights. I'm making sure all my lights in the cab are not cracked or broken. They are properly mounted. I make sure they turn on and off, and there's no exposed wires. Alright, now on the floor, I'm making sure in the back of the floor, in the bus, I'm making sure there's no oil or grease that can cause a slip.
No oil or grease on the floor.
I make sure it's clean at all times. And I have an emergency button for the main entrance. I make sure